Hi, we're adults.
We say adult things.
And we use adult language.
You have been warned.
Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Paul. Ladies and gentlemen of all ages, welcome to Sketchy Cast. That's right, a show where we don't have belly buttons, like that terrible network TV show Kyle XY.
Yeah, for some reason that reminded me of, Coneheads? No, I think it was more of the aliens. Well, obviously they're aliens, but no, I mean all the skin in their head. I don't know. Anyways.
Today's Sketchy Cast is sponsored by Monsieur Eric Lanard.
And for the intro today, since it's really our first podcast, I decided that Will, and Paul doesn't know this, I think we're going to make this a thing, that we keep going back and forth week by week. And he'll pick it next time, I'll pick it this time. This time, we're going to do firsts. We're going to take 5 minutes to talk about firsts that we've had. And it's going to be anything from our first kiss to our first car to that first time we walked into a wall.
Or that first orgy where they used chocolate?
Oh yes, the first chocolate orgy.
Orgy?
I was actually, before I was playing, Paul doesn't know that I came up with the first thing, so he's going to probably, do you have any off the top of your head?
First of
any
anything?
Any first, because they got to know about us.
Do they have to know about us?
Well, no. I mean, you can make us shit up if you want to.
I mean, Sketchy Antics is a story of lifetimes of Eric Larnold.
Yeah, but Paul Consumato is part. He's in there.
Somewhere. Yeah, my first kiss was at a hockey tournament at the age of 13 in Maine. A lobster trap tournament.
That was actually very well done. That almost sounded rehearsed.
The fact that I was 13 when I remember that was funny.
Mine was on the. I don't remember who I kissed first. I remember who kissed me, and her name was Kate Ogden. Ogden? I'm gonna get her last name wrong. I'm sorry, Kate. I shouldn't use real names, anyways. Her name was Bill, and and she kissed me on the playground in 5th grade, but I don't remember who.
I feel like that's from a song. You were listening to. No. Kissed me on the playground, 5th grade.
Oh no, that happened. That happened. She kissed me, and I was very confused. I was like, "Why did you just kiss me? Why did you do that?"
It's like my first girlfriend was in 6th grade. She walks up to me and tells me, "I'm your girlfriend now." Okay.
I got my first hug for a girl when I was like 5th, 6th grade, and I cried. I was such a win. No, it was like a horrible experience for me. I was like, she's gonna come to school This was my reasoning. I figured that she was gonna come to school every day, and she would hug me, and she would like show me all this love, and I was like so afraid of it. The
committed started really young with this one. Shit, man, you got me beat on that.
Like, oh god. Let's see what else. I still have my first car. Nice Volvo, 1999 Volvo.
I still have my first car too.
Oh, do you?
Your
car's doing pretty good for being your first car.
Well, it's considered to 2002, and I only had 2,000 miles when it was first bought.
I'm surprised the brakes are as good as Paul's driving is. Well, I think Steve experienced it the best the other day. You just constantly feel like you're going to get in an accident.
There's an illusion of being in an accident.
Yes. I told Steve that Paul has tinted windows, that every time you look at it, you just see like your own death.
I feel like that's a terrible initiation. See your death.
See your death.
No.
Yeah, let's see what else.
So what have you been up to this week?
This week, what have we been up to? Oh, we've been doing a lot with getting this ready, the podcast stuff ready. Honestly,
yeah, I know.
That's what mine. I actually didn't draw much this week, which is terrible. I know. I really should draw more, but I took the week off to we planned out the diagram. There's a diagram on my whiteboard right here. In my room, we have a huge whiteboard in my room. And there's got a diagram of all the sketchy antic things from YouTube to Facebook to G+, to how it's all connected with emails and everything. And so that's what we did. Or that's what I did.
G+ is a thing?
Google+. I just put G+. I don't know.
I know the symbol is G+, but do we call it, like, Facebook, FB?
FB? I guess you don't. That's like saying LOL. Hashtag fun times.
Hashtag fail sauce. Yeah.
Alright, but since it really is our first podcast, they obviously can go over to sketchyantics.com/about and read all about you and me and Caitlin, my publicist. the whole Sketchy team. But
you sound so weird when you say you have a publicist.
I know, right?
It sounds to me, it honestly sounds dirty. Like you don't need a publicist this early.
Yes, my publicist. But yeah, no. We should probably explain who we are a little bit. I mean, what do you do, Paul? This is Paul. He's my website manager and a bunch of other stuff. He's going to be in charge of editing the podcasts and everything. This will be his
doing things
yes.
of that nature. Let's see. I am a quality control technician in the chemical manufacturing industry.
What? No, I'm not going to do that.
You know shit. I am an idiot savant when it comes to a lot of things. I dabble in everything that is hedonistic and awesome.
Said hedonistic.
Hedonistic. Is it hedonism?
It's hedonism.
Hedonistic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Coming from the man who can't spell.
I can't spell.
I know, right?
No, I can correct other people's words, like when they talk. I don't know how words
Hey, Eric, could you get into the beta?
Beta? I hate you. I hate you so much. I saw something the other day about queuing. That queuing's actual word that I guess they use in, like, Britain and the UK. I didn't realize that, like, queuing standing in line. So they were talking about queuing, and I just kept thinking of WoW.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yep, waiting for that dungeon.
What my buddy would say, rather than queuing, he'd say quay. Did you join the quay?
Andrew does that. Andrew says K. I'm K'ing for a dungeon. Hurts.
I mean, let's see. I just basically dabble in everything. I like video games. I like learning. I like biotechnology. All that fun jazz. If it has an alcohol content, I'm certainly trying it.
That's true. That's a fact. We are big fans of
ETOH.
Yes. Scotches and also actually that I'll probably come up a few times, but you're pretty big into cigars. I mean, you've got quite a foothold in cigars.
Foothold.
I mean,
foxhole.
Foxhole. I combine two things. I'm making up my own lines now.
Yes, I have a collection. Although it's hit the point where I want to say around half of my collection are cigars that haven't been bought for me, so I can't give them away or trade them.
That's
I have
true.
to smoke them.
Yep. You made a good purchase last week. The 12 or 14 that came in.
Oh, the box of 15?
Yeah, those.
Yeah. For the folks who may or may not know, I acquired a box of Liga Privada Unico Series L40s. I have a contact who was able to source me them, and I don't remember the stat off the top of my head, but I'm one of the few people on the East Coast who has bought a box. Makes me feel dirty inside. And for any reason, if you out there listening right now knew that, I want to know how you knew that. You spying on us? Is this going to be a thing, audience? As a hint.
I need to come up with something to call the audience. Something I want to do.
The crew.
Audience seems so passe. The crew. The sketchy crew. Arrgh. We be on this boat now, yes?
You just can't stick with the accent.
Don't look at me like that. I can only say I'm not very consistent.
Next thing you know, I'm listening to a Korean Irishman.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep putting Italian into everything, too.
I know.
That's a thing lately. Combining Italian accents and everything. Anyways,
should we talk about you egomaniacal?
Oh, me, yes. Oh, no, I mean, if we have to, I guess that's fine. I'm Eric, and I draw sketchyantics.com, and it's a webcomic about me and the people in my life, and I love me. And no, I guess it's kind of weird listening to this later is always weird.
Egomaniacal.
Yeah, because you're like, oh yes, that's me talking about me. I'm listening to me talking about me.
I know, right?
But yeah, the whole process is kind of like self-centered, but it's cool. I enjoy doing it.
You're narrating your own handy now.
Yes. It's interesting. But no, what do I do besides that? I just quit my job. I was in retail, and I
your real world job,
don't want to do that anymore.
No one should ever work retail.
It's horrible.
Everything should be bought either online or through robots.
That's true. Did you see the Amazon Prime thing? Or the bot?
Yeah.
That thing's cool. That should be real.
The drone that's going to deliver everything in the future.
That should happen now. We should have that.
There are many things we should have when we don't. Backwards crap. Backwards stupid stuff.
Let's see. Oh, I mentioned Caitlin quickly, but Caitlin is my publicist. She is the third member of Team Sketchy. And no, she does a great job. I mean, she just made a Facebook account, a Facebook page for us. And I'm probably going to be having her... She doesn't know this yet, but I'm probably going to be giving her a couple of more assignments with bringing in people to the Facebook and YouTube pages and everything.
No, as a test, we should say we'll give her $5 if she actually does that.
I'm thinking about...
No. Because that means that she'll have to be paying attention to what we post. If she goes through and listens to this, then she'll win $5. If she doesn't listen to it, she won't know anything about it, and nothing will ever come up about it.
So what we just say right now, like, hey, Caitlin, if you're listening to this, you get $5.
If you walk up to me and say food nipple.
Food nipple.
Yes.
Aren't all nipples food nipples?
Technically speaking.
Well, except for males.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my favorite Halo Easter eggs.
What?
I think it was like Halo 2 or Halo 3.
To go up to someone and get money?
No, at the very end of the level, you're driving a Warthog.
Yeah.
On the Jeep.
As you do.
Yeah. Half the freaking game. And if you take right down a corridor, I think it might have been the first one. It's been a long time. But if you take a right down a corridor as everything's exploding around you, you run into this grunt that keeps going on and on and on about food nipples.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I guess the only real Halo game, though, I played Reach.
Yeah.
If that was in Reach, then I'm horrible. But no, that's the game. Like, I was the only real Halo experience that I got was Reach.
It's funny because we didn't. Our first console in our household was the Xbox, and it came bundled with Halo.
Yeah.
My parents understood that my brother and I could handle adult themes, and they said, "Screw it. It's fake violence
on space planets."
Space planets with yes.
With laser.
My favorite ending from the first Halo is on Legendary when the Sarge and when the Sarge and Elite hug. Sarge just goes, "Hold me," as the planet explodes around them.
That reminds me of. Did you ever watch Red vs. Blue?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
The first 5 seasons.
Yeah, first 5 seasons. I haven't done one since then, but no, we really got big into Red vs. Blue. That's where that pirate thing came from. I'm not very. Man, I can't do accents. That's gonna be a thing.
Like a retarded Irish.
I hate me. That's my faults. Here we go. That'll help me mellow myself out. Here are my faults. 1, I can't spell. 2, apparently I can't do accents.
Well, you can do accents.
They just all come into one eventually. I swear I'm pretty good at it normally. Anyways, I have a horrific fear of falling. Not to be confused with the fear of heights. Just that, sensation. Yeah, that free-falling feeling.
Don't ever kiss the Murray Stone.
Dylan we went to, what was it, the big amusement park, Six Flags, Jesus Christ. We went to Six Flags about 2 years ago, and I told him that was my fear, and he said, alright, we're gonna break it. First thing we went on was Scream, the one where they bring it and they just drop you.
Yeah.
Ugh. I went on Bizarro, 300-foot drop right off the bat.
Yeah.
That day I just learned that I didn't like roller coasters.
Did you go to Six Flags New England?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then you'll know this one. You know the Superman ride?
Yeah.
So there's one day. This is what broke my fear of roller coasters. Actually, there was one day in high school.
Yeah.
It was our senior year, and me and a couple friends went, and the park was absolutely dead. No one in there.
Oh, cool.
And so we walked in, and the line for Superman. This was when it first came out. This was 6-7 years ago.
All right.
Line for Superman's empty. We sat on it 11 times in a row.
Yikes.
We went to go get off, and we turned to the operator, can we just sit? Yeah, sure, why not? 11 times later, we just finally got sick of it. We're like, yeah, we'll see you later. It was ridiculous.
Oh god, I was...
We are a very varied group, very varied individuals, but the core of what ties Eric and I together really is webcomics.
That's true. Yeah, very much so. Thank you for keeping us on track.
It's... The thing with webcomics for me is it's something where it gives me something to look forward to reading, and it develops characters, not necessarily in newspapers, because newspapers, I feel like there's a little too much control over what they have to say, although Dune's very...
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the syndicates and everything, and that's one thing that makes webcomics so great, is that, I mean, that's the big thing that anybody can do a webcomic. You can do it, for basically nothing. They have so many websites that you go on, and just make a webcomic, post... And it's great. It really is. And so many people I know have started out that way and have made it pretty big so far.
Like, my favorites for webcomics have been some of the longest running ones, Least I Could Do.
Yeah.
I remember my freshman, sophomore year of reading when I was in college, when I was reading Least I Could Do. There was a time where I actually do this almost all my webcomics, is I'll restart. I'll stop reading the updates.
And go from the beginning?
And go from the beginning, just because you can see the evolution of the art styles. You can see a lot of evolution of the story and characters.
I mean, if we're going to talk about evolution, I got a couple. QC is one of them.
QC is also one of my favorites because...
obviously that's like the top webcomic. Well, that and Penny Arcade are up there.
Yeah, but I wonder what people on the West Coast say about QC.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the divide is with that.
QC, the guy's based in... It was Northampton the last time I checked, because there's a bar, they did a bar crawl every once in a while.
Yep.
And it's... Jeff Jacks, I love reading his webcomic. I love watching from the very first Depression Purple Blue comic. Going up and down and seeing how his art style has evolved and how he's incorporated shading and
really
touched up in the details that he puts into the webcomics now. I love them. Control Delete's another one. Though I can't say I'm a big fan of his one-offs. I do like the initial stories, although he was also updating every day.
Yeah.
For a long time, and now he's switched to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
That's very true. I like... It's getting up there now. The last time I looked on the webcomic list, it was like number 5, Gumcrete Quarter, which is really cool because it has a very science and nature base to it. Yeah. And I think the coolest thing about that one is that you see the characters like literally grow from the beginning of it to where we are now. Like she starts off, she's like, I don't know, like 8 or something like that. Yeah. And her friends and everything, and the classes and everything, and she grows. She's like a teen, and it's weird because at the time when you're reading it, you don't see it because it's happening so slowly. It's done very well.
Well, Scary Go Round. I forget what it used to be called. I just refer to it as Scary Go Round.
Yeah.
It's had that evolution where initially the art styles were very blocky, very chunky, and there wasn't shading. There wasn't a lot. And you can see how the artist goes through it. I can't remember the jam artist's name on top of my head. I know they're based in the UK, and I love the UK. Who's
Least I Can Do? Is that Lars?
That's Lars and Summer.
Yeah.
Lar D'Souza and something Summer. I can't remember his first. Oh, thank God.
I'm terrible with names too. It's cool.
But Scary Go Round, you have the evolution of the cast in the center of the main characters, and then the artist chops off and starts anew. So a span of some odd years pass, and the main characters go off and get adult positions, and do adult things. They stop doing the things that are based around the center of the comic, and then they focus on. The focus is more on the upcoming generations. So you have a generation go through school in the different years that they go through. Yeah. Then as one generation leaves school, they start up again, kind of, with characters they've introduced while these characters have been in school. So it's a continuous kind of deal.
I remember talking about this with you. It reminds me of Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much freedom of expression.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it. Although it is tougher to make money, it's tougher to keep it going, because initially, I quote this and paraphrase this quite often, but it takes 10 years for you to actually turn this into a living. 10 dedicated years. You can't just stop and pick it up. If you stop, the clock resets and you have to start over again. And it may not take 10 years.
No, I mean, we've seen people,
But it takes dedication.
Yeah, you really got to do it. You got to keep to the update schedule. Right, Eric? You have to keep to the update schedule. Right, Eric? I'm talking to myself now, Jesus Christ. But no, it's true. I need to... I'm just going to have, like, this clip playing over and over. Stick to the update schedule.
I'll cut this, and every time you're doing something wrong, I'll just play it randomly from different speakers in the room.
I'll be sitting here playing, like, Hearthstone or something. Just see Paul come in with, like, a tape recorder.
Yeah, it's... I mean, that's... Where do you want to go with this podcast? Because I would like this to be a sort of...
An intro one? Like this podcast?
Not this, the overarching scheme. Because not only is this a sneak peek into the mind of Eric and the mind of Paul, this is also... I'd love for this to be kind of like a web comic chat where we chat about what has gone on, new web comics we've seen, stuff like that, but also our daily lives, because our daily lives aren't just web comics.
Well, yeah, I mean, we definitely have, like, the kind of the basic layout of, like, I'm thinking of doing something like we have the intro, we have, what's going on in our lives this week. We talk about what we've done, and then we get into like what's going on in the world this week, things that we like, things that we're into, webcomics, cigars, building, biotech, all that kind of stuff that we're into, and
building biotech,
building Legos.
Who doesn't love Legos?
I love Legos. Anyways, Steve brought that awesome $100 Lego movie set.
Yeah, I was flummoxed that he actually bought that.
Huge. Well, it was pretty good size for Lego. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The movie was great too. Lego movie. I just saw that. He's been trying to get us to watch it for a while. Anyways, and then end with normally, I'd like to have guests on here that we could bring in, and we may just start off with like our friends for now, just so you guys can get like a feel for who we are, who our friend group is, people that we hang out with, and then later on, I'd like to bring in more like writers and
if we could have
artists.
Jeff Jacks on the phone, I would probably have a mild heart attack.
No, we're gonna get Jeff. We'll get Danielle Corsetto. We'll get Ray.
You say that with such
No. I don't say this. You know, this isn't sarcasm. But no, we'll get all those guys. We'll get Mike and Jerry from Benny Arcade. No, they'll be here. No, actually, we'll have them over to the apartment. We'll have cakes. We'll have little cakes and tea with them. Actually, they might go for that.
Isn't it called a happy or not happy hours? Isn't it called like,
happy hour?
Tea time.
You mean afternoon tea?
Afternoon tea.
Oh yes. A spot of crumpets. Spot of tea.
Topping hell.
Oh, and then we'll end with like a quick closing message thing, depending on how. I'm thinking 30, 45 minutes for these things. Is that what we?
Depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go like around there for now, I guess. Nice. It's shorter, not too long, not too short, kind of thing.
I mean, I honestly don't know how many people find my voice thrilling, sexy, entertaining. It's
if I put a poll up, I'd be like, oh my god, Paul's voice. I'm getting wet listening to this podcast. Actually, that wasn't sarcasm. That sounded like sarcasm, but I totally meant for that to be like legit.
That was special.
Sorry. We should do more polls on this set. We need. Once we get like a larger fan base, it'd be interesting just to see like a massive.
Yeah. Once we start updating more regularly. Will people actually see the polls?
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, let's come together. I'll get we get some banner things that I have to do for the social media stuff because every freaking social media now has a banner. I didn't realize that. That's a thing apparently. Headers, geez, woo.
Pictures, things.
So once I get done with those, then I think I'm gonna have we have to meet with Caitlin. She doesn't even know we're doing a podcast right now.
That's fine.
No, she doesn't even know. I know it's fine, but she has no idea that this is going on. Not just right this second, but at all. So she'll get to know that eventually. We'll touch base at some point.
Like I said, if she can come up to me and say food nipple, she'll get $5.
I feel like that doesn't even have to do with anything with like the publicist job. We could do that to anybody. We could be like, let's see, I can't think of people's names. One single
how about
person.
This? 1 year from now, we'll reference this.
1 year from now.
1 year from now, we'll reference this. We'll talk about that. And
okay, yeah,
force people to come back and listen to the intros.
I'm gonna pull this out. 1 year from now, to date, when this airs, so whatever the date is on this video, if the first person who on that day reminds me of what I'm saying right this second will get a free t-shirt.
About food nipples?
I know. Well, I'll give you something else. Whatever. I don't know. But you'll get a t-shirt. Yeah. I'll send it to you and everything. It'll be great. See if that happens.
That means we're going to have to do 52
You have to remind me that this happened, though.
We'll have to do 51 podcasts.
Yes, we'll have to. Yep. See, we just set a obligatory goal. That's how you do it. That's how you get things done.
So yeah.
That is a lot of podcasts. No, it's not bad.
Not really.
Especially if we're doing them one a week.
Anyway, so enough being egotistical bastards. What happened in the world? I have no idea. Let's see. What happened?
Well, right before this podcast, we were talking about, we have to, it would be cool to talk about the webcomics and stuff, and we were realizing in your car that we have no idea what happened this week, because, it's Monday, so it's not like there's a lot.
Well, I mean,
we just haven't read this. Did you read past weeks?
The past weeks, I did read a little bit.
Yeah, I did too.
Talking about, how Martin's mom is going to be moving back.
Did you see the one with May, though?
May.
No? You didn't see that? You do have to catch up. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But no.
The last one that I vividly remember is how Martin's mother is moving back, and he's gonna start dating Dora's ex, who drops off the kid, and the way Dora,
Sam?
the way Dora is handling it, and the way that's her name, right? Dora.
Sam. Oh wait, yeah, Dora. Wait, what are we talking about?
Talking about the ex.
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
I love how Sam and Martin interacted though.
Yeah.
When Sam's like, "You know what this means?" I call front seat.
And yeah, I mean that's something that we talked about a little bit before, but I like the fact that they have Sam in it, or that Jeff has a Sam in it, because you don't really get any other kids in the comic. There's no other kids' point of views. So it's cool.
It's also that level of innocence is very refreshing considering the way the tone of the webcomic was.
Yeah, especially, I agree. Yes, we're in consensus. It's not so fun when we're in consensus. We don't argue about things. I don't agree with that. Oh, here's it. I think that Pint Size is more kiddish than some of the other ones, and you totally disagree with me about this one.
Yeah, Pint Size is not...
I'm making my argument. I think it's because he's more immature. He's very immature, and that gives it more of like a, butts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he talks about butts, and then he goes on, like, porn marathons.
Okay, well, maybe we'll say, like, I don't know, late teen boy, or mid-teen boy. We'll say that.
No. He's college student. He's like... He's a college student.
College robot. No, you really gotta see it, though. Do you know who May is? May was the, Dale's glasses? She was the robot that was in the maid suit. She's back.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. You gotta read that shit.
She was the one who was in his glasses and was like...
Yep, she was in prison.
God, yeah.
Which is kind of cool, so I'm interested to see where he goes with that. That is definitely something I want to share.
Well, alright, so... Actually, think of this. Who are the only people who don't have their own Arthro pieces? You've got Faye. Faye doesn't have one. Dora doesn't have one. Sam doesn't have one. Martin's mother doesn't have one.
Yeah, anything that has to do with coffee doesn't have one.
Yeah. No.
Oh, damn it. Hannah Lord. Damn it, I forgot she's working there now. Damn it. Yeah. So it's kind of weird to see the divide of the people who have them like so integrated into their lives, and then other people who, not even.
It's funny because we were talking about how the cast is so wide on there. Yeah. Like, I love Raven. Raven's fucking hot.
But Raven's gone. I mean,
she's gone.
Forever.
Like, you have all these characters that you can pull stuff from. Like, the one where Steve holds up for, like, a week in his apartment and he gets drunk off cheap vodka and starts fighting off monsters using broken bottles is hilarious.
Steve's kind of an interesting character. He's kind of like a throw-in. He did stuff with that Russian girl with the eye patch. Yeah.
I love that.
He's got a girlfriend that we know because he popped in with her a little while back.
That's right.
There.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because questionable content, it moves at a slower pace than some of the other comics.
That's true. I mean, I'm not sure if you're up to date on Girls with Slingshots. Do you read Girls with Slingshots?
I do read Girls with Slingshots. That's also one of my favorites. Although it's very difficult sometimes because there are certain things that it gets dull to me.
Yeah.
Although they are. It's
that's
really
like,
storytelling.
Well, that's like Dumbing of Age. I'm really into Dumbing of Age. You can't.
I can't.
Yeah.
I tried. I got into Dumbing of Age for a little bit, and I just can't. It dropped for me.
Those are like my. I don't know. There's something about those. The ones that are like high school and stuff like that. They bring me. Well, whatever. It was like freshman year of college, so I can use that.
You graduate less than a year.
I was thinking of bitter. Shut up. I was thinking of Bittersweet Candy Bowl was the other one. That was actually pretty good. Yeah. It's slightly a furry comic, but I will stand to this one. It'll probably be the only furry comic I stand to. If you guys are into furry, that's your prerogative. But no, I found. I totally forgot the name of it, even though I just said it 3 times. Bittersweet Candy Bowl to be really good. It made me really nostalgic about high school and everything.
Yeah. I mean, there is a vast amount of webcomics out there. It's junky too, because some of the webcomics I used to really read, like there was one that basically the guy drew it on notebook paper, scanned it in, and posted it.
I want to catch up on MS Adventures Homestuck. That is, as far as I know, the longest running comic.
Yeah.
And the transitions, like, I see what I've read so far, and they're very basic. It's kind of cool. It's kind of played like a video game almost.
Yeah.
Kind of how it's set up. But the ones I'm used to when I see Homestuck, when I think Homestuck, I see like these very basic characters in these very basic rooms doing these, they're pretty cool concept. But now, like, if I even Google, you really want to stay away from anything Homestuck when you're reading it, because there's just so much information. They give you like small bits of it at a time that later on you're like, oh my god, this all fits together. But no, the pictures and everything are like so much more. We were talking about before about over time how good they get. Jesus Christ, that one.
How they develop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I mean, it's, like I said, it's a vast amount, and I know there are also webcomics that have died.
Yeah. That,
it sucks.
I have my little
graveyard.
My rest in peace
folder
for the dead webcomics that I read. Blip is one of them that's just now completely gone. Blip was great. I tell you guys to go read it, but it doesn't exist anymore on the internet.
I'm really curious if someone archived that.
I would love it if someone did have. And there was talk about it, but we never actually, like, I never heard of anything.
You have to remember, the internet never truly forgets anything.
That's true. It's probably floating around somewhere, but I mean, there's never going to be any more new ones. That was sucky, because I was reading it not realizing that it had stopped updating, and then when I finally caught up and I went, wait, no, mid-story, it stopped a year ago? What's this?
You're like, no!
It was a sad day, but there's a lot like that.
And it's funny too, because some of them you'll never know what happened, and some of them it's very plain and simple. Yeah. They don't have time anymore for their lives, and like I said, it's a hobby. And like I've told you,
you gotta enjoy
occasions, you can't make it a job until you start having to like merchandise and all that crap.
Yeah.
Up till then, it's a hobby. It should be a hobby for pleasure. You should be enjoying what you do.
I mean, even this, like what we're doing right now, we're doing this because we want to do this. We're not doing this because someone's holding the proverbial gun to our head saying, you need to get this done by this date or you do not get paid.
I mean, it's why I would love to go to a Comic-Con and meet the creators and artists of Lisa Could Do, because
Lars is apparently very friendly.
Yes.
There's a few people.
Well, if you ever watch, I believe Lars does a Friday podcast, or Friday live stream.
Yeah.
Where he draws, and he draws, and he kind of like chats with everyone and does whatever the hell he wants. He's a very good artist. I always think he's a great artist.
Where is it? He was in ComfyCon last year, ComfyCon 2013. He did sexual origami.
That's right.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
When was ComfyCon again? That was in the fall,
around
right?
October.
We should look it up and see if it's happening again.
I'm almost positive. Danielle and
put together a list of all the cons.
Yeah.
It just sucks because some of the cons they'll only come down for the bigger ones because they're based. Least I could do is basic canon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is funny too because he's very well educated on some of the American crap that happens.
There was a man. I think we missed it. There was I don't know if it's Montreal Comic-Con or something like that. But there's one that's up there that's free.
Really?
It's free to go to. All you have to do is get your ass up there.
I wonder if it's Ottawa.
I have no idea.
But it sounds like something Montreal would do. I don't know.
I know they get a lot of big names. Like, the people who go there are all volunteer. It's,
But, I don't know. You know what we should do? We should buy a bar.
We should buy a bar.
The running joke. Should we even talk about the world news? The world news is always depressing.
I don't know that. I don't want to talk about the world news. Not today, anyways. We may bring that up if something amazing or horrific happens. Probably not horrific, because that's sad. This is a happy cast.
I don't know. I'm totally putting bets on World War III happening because Russia invades Ukraine.
Because Russia invades Ukraine.
You gotta admit, that whole entire situation, it's very similar to what happened with World War I, where someone says, hey, we're gonna start a fight with you. And the other guy says, alright. And then every other nation gets involved because every other nation has pacts with that nation. And they're like, through some, like, was it the 7 degrees of connection or something, or whatever the hell you want to call it? Everyone's connected. Yeah,
I wasn't very good at history. I can nod my head while you talk. That's something I'm good at.
Yeah, I know. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's bring it back. Is there anything important you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, we went over the schedule about what we'd like to do, what we're probably going to do. I think I'd like to bring someone on next week. I'd like to bring a guest on next week. I'm not going to say it in stone, because if we don't end up doing it, we don't end up doing it, but it'd be kind of cool to have someone on, just to test that. We do like a 10-minute thing at the end of the cast, like, and our special guest this week is so-and-so and so-and-so.
So we're just going to have them sitting in the
Well, I don't know
booth?
if we'll have them sitting, in the booth. Yes, in our great studio here. I'm not in my...
No. We'll have them sitting in the sound booth. And they can sit there and listen, but they can't do anything.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. But at least for 20 minutes. 25 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's webcomics, at least for this week. I mean, we still have so many... I mean, there's so much more that we can talk about, but we can at least something for next time. I mean, we don't want to use up all the topics.
I was going to say, we have to give people something to look forward for their weekly dose of Eric and Paul.
Their weekly dose of Eric and Paul. Any more than a weekly dose may be detrimental to your health. That is something I should point out there. So if you are reading this, if you're reading this podcast, if you're listening to this podcast in the future, be careful how many you listen to in one day. This could get dangerous. Anything else you want to add before? No? We don't really have an outro yet. We didn't really talk about that.
Outro goes now. This is Paul.
This is Eric.
And you've been listening to the Sketchy Cast. Bum 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 bum.
Alright. So,
Why don't you stop
that's
recording
good.
that?
Yeah, I guess we could now. Can't we? I probably can. Just click that off.